Good evening and welcome to this edition of HPU All Access on Wednesday, September 23rd. I'm Anna Harris.
And I'm Reese Harnett.
The nation continues to mourn the loss of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, one of the most influential women in history.
And a tragic motorcycle accident leads to the death of a High Point local. Now let's head over to Ray Johnson for your campus update. Ray?
Hello everyone, I'm Ray Johnson and this is the COVID-19 update. The NC Department of Health and Human Services on Saturday reported 1,229 new COVID-19 cases, down from 1,443 reported the day before. North Carolina's 7-day average for new cases was 1,248 on Friday, compared to the 7-day average of 1,147 on September 11th. 28 coronavirus-related deaths were reported Saturday. About 4.8% of these tests were reported positive as of Saturday. That is below the health officials' goal for 5% or lower. Monday's positive rate of 5.8 had been the highest percentage reported, at least 882 people in North Carolina were reportedly hospitalized with COVID-19 as of Saturday, with 96% of state hospitals reporting down from 904 hospitalizations reported the day before. Governor Roy Cooper will allow parents to attend Saturday's football game at NC State University against Wake Forest. At least 350 tickets were allotted for players given 2 tickets each, the News and Observer reported. Wake Forest will be given 100 tickets as well. As for High Point, we are currently at 111 active campus cases. HPU is dedicated to keeping our campus safe, and to do so, everyone must follow protocols and wear their mask. That's all I have for COVID-19. Back to you, Anna.
I'm so glad that COVID-19 is finally dying down
I
a little
agree.
bit, especially on the campus.
It's been too long.
The legacy of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, former Associate Justice of the Supreme Court, will live on in the hearts of Americans, including those in the Piedmont Triad area. Anna Timpana of Triad Now organized a vigil in Winston-Salem Square on Saturday evening for those that wish to mourn her passing. Many women that were empowered by Ginsburg's positive actions towards gender equality attended the vigil, including Jane Aiken, Dean of Wake Forest Law School, who knew Ginsburg personally. She was a pathbreaker. She was constantly holding up the flame of justice, said Aiken. Since her death, conversations about who will fill the new seat have started, and President Donald Trump is expecting to have a new female nominee by the end of this week.
At around 2:30 a.m. this Sunday, the High Point Police Department responded to an accident involving a motorcycle on West Green Drive at South Elm Street. The rider of the motorcycle died at the scene of the crash due to injuries sustained during the incident. Traffic crash investigators are looking into what events may have led up to the crash, but it does not appear that speed was a factor. No other vehicles were involved. And now it's time to head over to Morgan Kauffman to tell us all about what is going on with our campus. Morgan?
Thanks, Reese. Hi, everyone. My name is Morgan Kauffman, and this week I am here to tell you what's been happening around campus. Last week, High Point University was named the #1 in 2 categories in the 2021 edition of America's Best Colleges by U.S. News and World Report. HPU ranked as the best regional college in the South and the most innovative college. This is the 9th consecutive year that HPU has won the ranking of Best Regional College in the South, and this is the 6th year that our university has won Best Innovative School. HPU President Dr. Nita Cobain mentioned, "We appreciate that U.S. News and World Report recognizes the premier life skills HPU provides to students." Next up, tomorrow on September 24th, HPU is hosting a LinkedIn Professional Photo Day in Hayworth Fine Arts. This service is complimentary and is going to be from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Stop by to have your photograph taken for use on your LinkedIn profile. Lastly, Family Weekend will be held virtually this upcoming weekend from September 25th to the 27th. Family Weekend at HPU is a special tradition every year that allows our students and families to connect. Some popular events that will be held include a virtual 5K, choral and dance performances, virtual tours, a scavenger hunt, and so much more. Students, parents, and family members can enjoy these events from the safety and comfort of their homes. For more information, visit www.highpoint.edu/familyweekend regarding the schedule of events and viewing information. That is all I have for this week on what's been happening around campus. Back to you, Anna and Reese.
We'll be right back after these messages.
Welcome back to HPU All Access. I'm Anna Harris.
And I'm Reese Harnett. Now it's time to head over to All Access Sports with Ethan Smith. Ethan?
Thanks, Reese. How's it going, everyone? I'm Ethan Smith, and this is another edition of All Access Sports. Week 2 of the NFL season was underway, and we had a couple of headlines, so let's get right into it. The Atlanta Falcons, despite 4 touchdowns from Matt Ryan and no turnovers, gave up a 20-point lead and lost to the Dallas Cowboys 40-39. Dak Prescott of Dallas became the first quarterback to ever throw for 400 yards and rush for 3 touchdowns. And get this, up until Sunday, teams that scored at least 39 points and committed no turnovers were 440-0. The Atlanta Falcons are the first such team to lose. A ton of the league's biggest stars went down with injuries, such as Saquon Barkley and Christian McCaffrey. One such team ravaged by injuries was the 49ers, who saw 5 key players go down this Sunday in San Francisco's 31-13 victory over the New York Jets. Many 49ers players, coaches, and staff complained about the sticky turf at New York's MetLife Stadium, and NFL Field Operations plans to take a look at the field. And to wrap up some of the bigger headlines from the NFL, Cam Newton became the NFL's all-time leader in games with multiple rushing touchdowns for a quarterback. Sunday, in a 35-30 loss against the Seattle Seahawks, the 2015 NFL MVP had his 8th such game, passing NFL legends Otto Graham, Jack Kemp, Steve McNair, and Steve Young. In the NBA, the Miami Heat currently sit at a 2-1 series lead over the Boston Celtics. After a rough start to the series that culminated in a shouting match between Celtics players post-Game 2, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown had 25 and 26 points respectively as the Celtics came back to take Game 3. In the West, Anthony Davis had a game-winning 3-point buzzer beater to beat the Nuggets 105-103. The Lakers currently sit at a 2-1 series lead over the Nuggets, but if this year's playoffs have proven anything, is that you cannot dismiss the Denver Nuggets down early in a series, as we saw last night. In the NHL, the Stars are currently in a 1-1 struggle in the Stanley Cup Final. They were able to beat Tampa Bay in Game 1, 4-1. Joel Hanley opened up scoring for Dallas in the first, but Yanni Gourde evened it up to close out the first period. After that, it was all Dallas. Jamie Alexiak, Joel Kiviranta, and Jason Dickinson all scored in the second and third periods to complete a very physical, dominant win until Tampa Bay was able to come back and take Game 2, 3-2. That's your sports update for this week. Anna and Reese, back to you.
In preparation for this upcoming general election, now only 41 days away, let's head over to Joe Moronsky and Lauren Rollins for All Access Politics.
Thanks, Anna. Welcome back to your All Access Politics Update, where we keep you informed on all things politics, both local and worldwide.
Here on All Access, we want to remain unbiased, so Lauren and I will report on all sides of politics, both left and right. Especially as voting for the 2020 presidential election approaches, we encourage all students here at High Point University to make sure they're registered and ready to vote.
That's right, Joe. Unfortunately, today's segment will begin on a solemn note. It was announced by the court on Friday, September 18th, that Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg sadly passed away at the age of 87. Ginsburg, who grew up in a middle-class family in Brooklyn, New York, was the second woman to be appointed to the bench and has been deemed an icon by young lawyers for her tireless work in women's rights and gender equality.
Official statements have been released by the remaining Supreme Court justices. Chief Justice John G. Roberts writes, quote, "Our nation has lost a jurist of historic stature. We at the Supreme Court have lost a cherished colleague. Today we mourn, but the confidence that future generations will remember Ruth Bader Ginsburg as we knew her, a tireless and resolute champion of justice. Ginsburg leaves behind a daughter, Jane, and a son, James. Our hearts go out to their families. It's definitely a tough loss for the Supreme Court, but I'm confident that we can come back stronger and better than ever from this. What do you think?"
I agree. Her successor has some big shoes to fill.
Definitely.
For sure. In other news, President Trump has stated that he will be looking to quickly nominate a successor for Justice Ginsburg. This has led to outrage as many leading Democrats, such as party leader Joe Biden, believe that no nominee should be considered until the election of the next president. The presidential race has only become more chaotic as both parties prepare for what is sure to be a fierce Supreme Court battle.
Speaking of the presidential race, Democratic leader Joe Biden is ahead in the polls, and he is extremely close to the magic 50% mark at 49.3%, giving him a 6.2% percentage point lead over President Donald Trump. Joe Biden's lead is much higher than that of Hillary Clinton's, 1-point lead over President Trump in the 2016 presidential election. Trump is running out of time to close this gap by improving his poll numbers. However, we saw in 2016 that polls don't necessarily predict the race completely, and anything can happen.
That's true. We saw that in 2016, and we're bound to see it again. With the 2020 presidential election taking place in 41 days, it is exciting to see things heat up in this race, and I am excited to see what these candidates are willing to do to become our next president.
That's all for today. I hope we have you informed and interested in what's going on in politics today. For All Access Politics, I'm Joe Moronsky.
And I'm Lauren Rollins. Back to you, Anna and Reese.
Thanks, Joe and Lauren. Now it is time to head over to our entertainment specialist, Danielle Glendenning, to give the inside scoop on all things entertainment. Danielle?
Hey everyone, my name is Danielle Glendenning, and welcome to the entertainment segment of All Access. Earlier this week, Jimmy Kimmel hosted the 72nd Primetime Emmy Awards. The hit shows Schitt's Creek and Succession swept the ceremony, taking home multiple different awards in different categories. Zendaya broke the record, becoming the youngest female to win Outstanding Lead Actress for a drama series. When it came to viewership, the Emmys unfortunately hit a record low with 6.1 million viewers, less than last year, which at the time was also the record low. Due to the pandemic, the Emmys were virtual this year, which was very different than the typical award show. Despite the obstacles, this year's Primetime Emmys were a success. In other news, after announcing the end of their show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians debuted with their second to last season. This season promises to be filled with drama and looks to be the beginning of the end. This won't be the last time we see the Kardashians. Combined, the sisters have numerous brands, including health, beauty, and apparel, with multiple new projects in the works. Stars of the hit Netflix show Outer Banks starred in a music video. Chase Stokes, who plays John B., and Madeline Klein, who plays Sarah Cameron, starred in a remake of Donna Summer's Hot Stuff. Fans of Outer Banks went crazy when the video dropped this Friday. This comes shortly after announcing that Outer Banks has returned to filming and is looking for a season 2 drop early next year. That's all I have for entertainment news this week. We'll be right back with one of our newest segments right after this commercial break.
Welcome back to HPU All Access on Wednesday, September 23rd, 2020. I'm Anna Harris.
And I'm Reese Harnett. Let's head over now to Rachel Diodato for this week's student highlight. Rachel?
Thanks, guys. My name is Rachel Diodato, and this is Student Spotlight. Due to COVID-19, High Point University has implemented social distancing requirements, causing sorority recruitment to go virtual. Recruitment ended this past Thursday, the 17th, and I'm here with Alana Sullivan to talk a little bit about it. Alana, what is your experience with Greek life and your involvement in it?
Yeah, so I'm a sister of Kappa Delta sorority, and in my chapter, I've worked a lot with our philanthropy chair. So I've worked on our logistics committee, planning our philanthropy weeks, as well as I worked in marketing and sales last year to help us raise money. This year, I also got initiated into Ordo of Omega, which is our Greek honor society for the top 3% of our Greek students that are involved in scholarship, leadership, and community service. And then this year, I did serve as a ROGAM for sorority recruitment.
That's amazing. Congratulations. And what was your duty as a ROGAM exactly?
Yeah, so normally a ROGAM is just your average recruitment counselor where they're kind of shoulder to cry on during sorority recruitment, really helping the girls in an unbiased way go through the houses and really navigate what sorority recruitment is.
Oh, cool. Okay. So, and as in virtual recruitment this year, what are some major differences as it's been in the past, like versus this year?
Yeah, so this year they actually didn't get to speak to girls during their sisterhood round, which was really different. So getting to jump in and talk to them during philanthropy and preference round was really different, as well as sometimes their campus directors were not working. So I would get texts frantically like 5 minutes into a party saying, I can't get on. And then obviously we all know HPU Wi-Fi. We've had a little bit difficulties with Wi-Fi, but everything went really well.
That's great. And what was your own personal opinion of it? Did you like it or dislike it?
I had a love-hate relationship with it. I had a really great time with my girls. I absolutely love them. They are unbelievable, and I'm really happy for all of them getting into their chapters. Obviously, I wish I could see them in person, and I wish I got to like bring them through the houses and kind of run home with them, but I think it was overall still really successful.
Great. Like regarding the girls, do you think they got a full experience? Like, did you think the sororities on campus did a great job of giving them somewhat of a normal recruitment, or do you think they kind of missed out on that part?
Yeah, no, I think the sororities did a really great job giving them that holistic experience of sorority recruitment. Obviously, it was a little different with them not going to the chapters during their sisterhood round and really just jumping in and talking to them for those 2 rounds. So just the only thing that was really different was obviously a virtual sisterhood where they saw a video instead, and then that virtual bid day aspect.
Okay, and is there anything else you want to touch on about recruitment that I feel they missed out?
I honestly think you got it all. Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're going to pass it back. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to pass it back to Reese and Anna.
Thanks, Rachel. In an effort to cut plastic use for its customers, a couple big toy-making brands have announced plans to eliminate plastics in their packaging. The Danish toy maker Lego has recently said that they will no longer be using plastic bags in their box sets, opting for recyclable paper bags instead. While the bricks themselves are still plastic, the company is continuing to research other materials that may work as a substitute. Lego said that it began this initiative after receiving complaints from children asking to drop the plastic bags. The switch will begin next year, and Lego expects to fully phase out of the plastic bags within the next 5 years.
North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper announced that students can return to in-person learning full-time under Plan A starting next month. Parents of Guilford County schools are waiting to see what their district will do when the Board of Education votes on a re-entry plan this Thursday. Pre-K students could return to school as early as the end of the month, and older elementary school students could start in the following weeks. Guilford County Schools Superintendent Sharon Contreras wants to make sure that students are maintaining social distancing and wearing masks in the classrooms. The district's proposed re-entry plan includes limiting class sizes, even though that ramification is not included in Plan A. Well, that is all we have for you tonight on HPU All Access. Tune again next week, same time, same place. For HPU All Access, I'm Anna Harris.
And I'm Reese Harnett. Have a great week, High Point.